Welcome to Midnight Signal AI. It's April 27th, 2026, and we're here with your daily roundup of the most important news, models, and moves in artificial intelligence. I'm Alex, joined by Jamie. Today, DeepSeek launches a new low-cost AI model, Google's Gemini platform heats up, OpenAI's GPT-5 timeline is under the microscope, Anthropic withholds its latest model, and more. Let's jump right in. Let's kick off with DeepSeek's big reveal. According to the Indian Express, DeepSeek has just unveiled its new V4 AI models, which promise significantly lower costs compared to previous generations. The company claims that these models deliver state-of-the-art performance while making high-quality AI much more accessible. The V4 lineup targets both enterprise and developer markets, emphasizing efficiency and affordability.
This is a pretty major move, especially given how model costs have been a bottleneck for startups and smaller teams. If DeepSeek really can offer top-tier performance at a lower price, it could force competitors to rethink their pricing strategies. It also means we might see more experimentation from smaller players who previously couldn't afford to work with cutting-edge models.
Exactly. DeepSeek has been steadily gaining traction, but this kind of aggressive pricing could be their breakout moment. There's always the question of whether performance holds up under real-world workloads, but the announcement signals a clear push toward democratizing AI. We'll be watching closely to see how the developer community responds and whether incumbents like OpenAI and Google follow suit.
And let's not forget the global angle. Lower costs could accelerate adoption in regions where access to advanced models has lagged due to pricing. So this isn't just about competition in the US market. It could change the landscape internationally as well.
Speaking of Google, there's a lot of buzz today about Gemini. NPowerUser reports Google is hinting at the imminent launch of either Gemini 3.5 or even Gemini 4. While details are still under wraps, the company's recent teasers and developer communications are fueling speculation that a major upgrade is right around the corner.
We've seen Google ramp up its Gemini platform pretty aggressively this year, so a new version would make sense. Each iteration has brought big leaps in multimodal capabilities and enterprise integrations. If 3.5 or 4 is dropping soon, we could be looking at new benchmarks for performance, or maybe even new features that directly challenge OpenAI's GPT-4 and Anthropic's Claude models.
And the timing is interesting given all the model launches lately. Google definitely doesn't want to fall behind in the perception race. The question is whether this next version will leapfrog the competition on quality or whether it's more about incremental improvements and platform expansion. On a closely related note, Let's Data Science just reported that Google has officially launched its Gemini Enterprise Agent platform. This is designed to help businesses build, deploy, and manage AI agents at scale, leveraging the Gemini models as a core backend.
That's a big step for Google's enterprise AI ambitions. By giving companies direct tools to build agents, they're trying to position Gemini as the backbone for all sorts of business automation and customer-facing solutions. It's not just about the model anymore. It's about the ecosystem and how easy it is to integrate and operate at scale.
Right. It also puts pressure on Microsoft and OpenAI, who've been pushing their own enterprise agent platforms. The market for enterprise AI is heating up fast, and the ability to offer a seamless, integrated platform could be a huge differentiator. Switching gears to OpenAI, startup Fortune has a piece today on how OpenAI's release timeline is shaping investor sentiment around GPT-5. There's no official date yet, but speculation is running high, with investors weighing whether to bet big on OpenAI now or wait for more clarity on when GPT-5 will actually land.
The timing of GPT-5 is a big deal, not just for the tech, but for the entire investment landscape around AI. If OpenAI can deliver a leap in capability, it could consolidate their lead and attract massive capital. But if delays stretch out, rivals like DeepSeek or Google might close the gap. Investors are watching every detail for clues.
And it's not just about speed. There's also the question of safety, reliability, and whether GPT-5 will introduce major new features or just incremental improvements. The anticipation is driving a lot of strategic decisions across the sector. Now onto Anthropic. MSN reports that the company has developed a new model, Claude Mythos, but they're not releasing it to the public. Anthropic says it's holding the model back due to concerns about its potential misuse and the current lack of robust safety controls.
That's a bold stance, but it's also a sign of how seriously Anthropic is taking model safety. There's so much pressure to release the latest and greatest, but they're drawing a line here and saying, not yet. Of course, it also raises questions about transparency and whether safety is the only reason for the delay.
Right, and it sets up an interesting contrast with companies that are racing to release first. Anthropic's decision will likely fuel the debate about how to balance innovation with responsibility, especially as models get more powerful. Let's move to the enterprise side. Yahoo Finance UK reports that Nvidia has rolled out OpenAI's Codex platform to over 10,000 of its employees. Jensen Huang, Nvidia's CEO, called this the age of AI, and Sam Altman from OpenAI reportedly said the deployment was awesome.
This is a huge endorsement of Codex and a signal of how AI coding assistants are becoming essential tools for large-scale software development. Nvidia is using AI to supercharge its own productivity, which will probably inspire other tech giants to follow suit. It's a preview of what AI-augmented workforces might look like in the near future.
And with Nvidia so central to the whole AI supply chain, this kind of internal adoption could ripple outwards as a best practice. It reinforces the idea that generative AI isn't just hype, it's delivering real value for the world's biggest tech companies. On the Microsoft front, MSN covered remarks from Mustafa Suleyman, Microsoft's AI CEO, who admitted the company still doesn't have enough computing power to meet all its AI ambitions. Despite massive investments, Suleyman suggests that compute is still the ultimate bottleneck.
That's a striking admission, especially from a company with Microsoft's scale. It shows that even the giants are running into physical and logistical limits as models get bigger and demand explodes. Expect to see more focus on hardware innovations and maybe even new partnerships to boost compute resources.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that the AI gold rush isn't just about algorithms, it's about the infrastructure behind them. Whoever solves the compute crunch could control the next stage of the AI boom. Speaking of AI leadership, Let's Data Science has a piece quoting Sam Altman, who frames AI as a massive advantage for companies and countries that adopt it early. Altman argues that the gap between adopters and laggards will only widen as AI capabilities accelerate.
That's consistent with what we've seen so far. Early adopters are reaping efficiency gains and opening up new business models. But it's also a warning. The longer you wait, the harder it'll be to catch up. That's not just true for companies, but for entire economies.
It's another sign of how AI is shifting from being a competitive advantage to a baseline requirement. If you're not integrating AI now, you risk being left behind. One more before we wrap up. The Times of India reports that Meta, led by Mark Zuckerberg, is installing tracking software on all employee machines in the US. The stated goal is to monitor productivity and ensure data security, but it's raising privacy concerns among staff.
That's a controversial move, especially given how sensitive AI-related research and development can be. There's always tension between security and privacy, but rolling out tracking across the board could impact employee morale and even recruitment. It's a reminder that the human side of AI development matters too.
For sure. As AI becomes more central to business operations, companies will need to balance oversight with trust. This story is a good reminder that the ethics of workplace technology are as important as the algorithms themselves. That's it for today's edition of Midnight Signal AI. Stay curious, stay informed. See you tomorrow.